there are a lot of Asian voices now, but I think that we need a little bit more Filipino voices in the mix, and I want to be one of those.
Power Pinay woman behind the lens, Ida Del Mundo. Hello and welcome to So Janelle. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Janelle. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to share about my experiences in film.
Have you always been wanting to direct a film?
I grew up not wanting to be in film, like specifically not wanting to be in film. No plans of being a director, especially because my father is actually a filmmaker. So I wanted to do my own thing and carve my own path. I took a degree in literature and a master's in creative writing. For a long time, I was a writer for the Philippine Star and a teacher as well with De La Salle University. I had no plans of becoming a filmmaker until I found a story that I really wanted to tell, and I realized that the best way to tell that story was through film.
And this story is the story of the T'boli people, right? And now you have a movie under your belt. It's Kana, the Dream Weaver, which is being released by TBA Studios.
Cái u enget sau tổ hulung mewel, hol hegem melem quangem, hitem fedem kitingelem, hem mekem tuko, te dokem be kitibongem, nel was be you, kana. Kana? Oh, kana. Kamna.
So your dad must have been thrilled that you changed your mind from your path and you made a detour to become a filmmaker.
He loves kind of working with me on ideas for more films. We love discussing it. I think he was really happy and he's really proud of what I decided to go into. Realizing how powerful film is as a platform is something that I learned when I made Pinay the Dreamweaver and took it around the world and had feedback from people around the world watching the film and learning about our indigenous culture. And that's when I really realized that this is such a powerful medium to get a message out to the world. That is really what drives me to tell the stories that I tell.
And is it easier now to raise funds? I can just imagine now we have crowdfunding and now you get people excited even before you go into production, right? Would you say also maybe exchanging experiences with your dad that is it easier? It is easier now?
Well, definitely there are so many uh, really things in place right now to make it easier for an indie filmmaker to make movies. One of them is crowdfunding, which I tried for the first time with this film, Never Forget, that I'm making in New York. Back then, yeah, you either had to be connected to a studio, self-fund your film. Yeah, now I tried crowdfunding. It is not easy, but it's so heartwarming to really see how people, even just around the world, are interested in your project and want to see that vision made into like a film and made into reality. And with each contribution, it really lifts us up and gives us a lot of encouragement.
Right. And validation, right? That the story that you want to work on is something that people are excited to hear about.
Never Forget is a story about a father and daughter. It's a story about history and culture, knowing where you come from and how that affects who you think you are and who you believe you are. We have Pablo, who is a Filipino who moved to New York and he has dementia. And his daughter Vera reconnects with him to take care of him. Because of his dementia, memories from the past kind of go to the surface. And because of that, she finds out secrets from her father's past that he has been trying to forget. And these are connected with the Escalante massacre, which occurred during martial law in the Philippines. Pablo was on the wrong side of history and he had fled because of his guilt, and he never told Vera about it. He never told her what her roots are, what their family background was. So finding out these things that her father had done makes Vera question everything she knows about herself and everything that she's grown up with as a Filipino American.
From Kana, the dream weaver, to Never Forget, I see a pattern here of you wanting to make a social impact through your work. Politics is a hot topic right now in the Philippines because of the ongoing campaign for the Philippine presidential election. How political do you intend to be in this movie?
Well, the politics, the history, the themes of martial law are the backstory of the film. So as the backstory, I think it's really kind of resonant how knowing our history is directly connected to personally knowing who we are and actually making decisions for the future as well.
I love that.
It is still very important, even if it's not, a film directly about history, a film directly about these issues.
Right. But as a film, it also has the power to make an impact and make a social impact. I know there's debates right now about how martial law wasn't talked about enough in schools, and this is where the arts come in. Films like yours will actually put things into context to make people aware of that part of our history, correct? Where education is failing, the arts can pick up.
That's so true. And not just the lack of information, but also with the arts, I think with an emotional connection, an emotional impact with the audience, it has so much more resonance with them, and they understand the message even more if they tackle these issues through arts, through film, and it really connects that way.
And that's your power as a Pinay power woman behind the lens, right? Because you're able to direct where the story goes, you're able to contribute to the narrative of our community, of our nation, and at the same time influence decisions. Are you aware of that power that you have?
You have to tell significant stories as a filmmaker, and some of these significant stories will be controversial, but the bravery of still tackling the hard topics is really important.
So go ahead, invite the viewers to support your next crowdfunding. At the same time, what happens when the deadline has passed and people still want to give?
Right. Well, actually, just today we exceeded our goal on Seed and Spark, and we're still welcoming more pledges, which is wonderful. So that is on seedandspark.com/fund/never-forget. But even beyond that, filmmaking is such an expensive endeavor, and support of any kind is always welcome. So even beyond the crowdfunding campaign, viewers can continue to follow us on Facebook. So that's Never Forget Short Film on Facebook, and I always update also on Instagram at Ida.of-the-world. And it's not just in monetary value that they can give their support, but from watching the film, from being involved, and for sharing our vision, they can support us as well. I love being a producer and filmmaker and director right now, because I can form a team of Filipinas to work with me. I was able to put together a Filipina team for Never Forget, with Marcy Lacap, who's my cinematographer, Cindy Custodio, who's my editor, Ida Del Mundo is my associate producer. I'm working with Emmy-winning composer Denise Santos, who's based in LA, and we are working with veteran production designer Fiel Zabat, who's been based in New York for a long time. So being able to create those jobs for Filipinas and to have that support, amidst all of the challenges of being a Filipino director in New York, really makes a huge difference as well.
What other struggles have you encountered or are you encountering as a Filipina filmmaker?
Really to have my voice heard. I am working with filmmakers based in New York. To be able to assert myself as, the leader of the team, as the director, was a little bit challenging, but they have really given me the respect as the director of the film. And I think from hearing me talk about the story and from reading the script, They really see the importance of the work that we're doing. So as a team, we have really been working very well. And yeah, I'm glad to represent being a Filipino-American filmmaker here in New York.
How do you earn respect as a woman?
It's by showing that you know what you're talking about, you're passionate about it, and you're going to lead the team. You know, there are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of barriers, but you're going to lead it with courage and with vision. And showing them that you have the vision really earns respect, especially in filmmaking.
And that is representation. Thank you so much, Ida Del Mundo. People, including myself, are now interested about Never Forget.
So we are right about to shoot the film right now. Never Forget will premiere in the School of Visual Arts Student Film Festival on May 20th. And then hopefully from there, we're going to go to the Philippines. We're going to go show the film around the world and to audiences everywhere. So we're really excited to do that.
Quick, it's so exciting. Thank you so much again, Ida, first for sharing your story with us, of course, for sharing your projects, your vision with us, with our viewers and followers, but at the same time, for everything that you're doing to represent us Filipinos in the stage of filmmaking, in the industry of filmmaking. Thank you. More power to you.